In modern times, if one is to face the problem of grinding their teeth at night, they would take steps to treat the problem, like trying to be more relaxed or wearing a mouth guard before going to bed. But in ancient Babylon, the treatments were much more extreme and different. See, many at the time believed that illnesses were punishments from the gods or demonic forces. With this as the common belief, the doctors at the time could be better equated to priests or exorcists and would often use magic for their treatments. And when it came to teeth grinding, they would take it to the next level. The most common diagnosis was that a dead relative was trying to contact the patient while they slept. The doctor's solution to this illness was to have the patient sleep next to a skull for a full week so that the spirit is exorcised. And to ensure the treatment worked, the doctor would encourage the patient to kiss and lick the skull 7 times every night. In ancient Greece, it was a very common belief that if a woman went celibate for an extended time, her uterus, eager to bear children, could dislodge and glide freely about her body, causing suffocation, seizures, and hysteria. To prevent this from happening, women were counseled to marry young and bear as many children as possible. If it was too late and the womb had already broken free, doctors would prescribe therapeutic baths, infusions, and physical massages to try and force it back in position. One of the more interesting cures would be to fumigate the patient's head with sulfur and pitch while rubbing pleasant-smelling lotions between her thighs. The logic being that the womb would flee from the bad smells and move back into its rightful place. These practices would continue into the time of the Romans and Byzantines, well after doctors had learned that the womb was held in place by ligaments. You have probably heard someone accuse a celebrity of drinking baby's blood to try and look younger, or using Korean babies' foreskin in plastic surgery or beauty products. And shit like this has been happening throughout history for a long time. The Romans believed that the blood of fallen gladiators could cure epilepsy, and 12th century apothecaries were known for keeping a stock of mummy powder, a macabre extract made from ground-up mummies looted from Egypt. Meanwhile, in 17th century England, King Charles II was known for enjoying a draught of King's Drops, a restorative brew made from crumbled human skull and alcohol. Although these all seem scrumptious, normally the type of cure prescribed usually corresponded to the type of ailment. For example, a skull would be consumed for migraines or human fat for muscle aches. The ancient Egyptians had a remarkably well-organized medical system, complete with doctors who specialized in healing specific ailments. Nevertheless, the cures they prescribed weren't always up to snuff. Lizard blood, dead mice, mud, and moldy bread were all used as topical ointments and dressings, and women were sometimes dosed with horse saliva as a cure for an impaired libido. Most disgusting of all, Egyptian physicians used human and animal excrement as a cure-all remedy for diseases and injuries. According to 1500 BC's Ebers Papyrus, donkey, dog, gazelle, and fly dung were all celebrated for their healing properties and their ability to ward off bad spirits. Asthma cigarettes were popular during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Normally, when someone smokes cigarettes for an extended amount of time, they would experience symptoms like shortness of breath, coughing, and even fatal symptoms like lung cancer. But these asthma cigarettes were a little kinder to the user's lungs. They contained ingredients such as stramonium leaves, tea leaves, chestnut leaves, gum benzyne, cola nuts, tobacco, and various arraignments of addictive and harmful chemicals. The only real benefits of these cigarettes would be the stramonium leaves, which could provide some respiratory relief. In the Middle Ages, some doctors believed cures-like. So when confronted by the Black Death, thought to be caused by deadly vapors, they were convinced that the key to fighting the disease was to use a bit of therapeutic stink. Some urged people to keep goats in the home, others recommended flatulence stored in jars. Each time the deadly pestilence appeared in the neighborhood, people were to open the jars and take a whiff.